Look like it's going to be a rough night for Ludovic Klein. I mean, he's doing pretty decent. But Gamrot is on him like white on rice. Oh, man. Oh, whoa. Gamrot taking the back. This fight might not last too long. I don't know. Oh, man. Dude, Gamrot was tough. Honestly, yeah, I've been keeping up with the results of this fight night on Twitter. I have not been watching these fights though. This is a rough one. This is one of the worst cards as far as quality of names like this year. In the UFC, they've been giving us garbage all year. At the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, they've been giving us some garbage fight nights. Okay, Ludovic gonna have to do something different. He gonna have to keep this fight standing up because Gamrot can do this he can pretty much break you like this. But Gamrot is beatable. We saw him struggle against Jalen Turner. Arguably didn't win that fight. That was another fight that put hands on him. He arguably didn't win that one. To his credit, he did take the Dan Hooker fight on short notice, so it's hard to hold that against him. I don't know if I could actually show this fight, even though it's a fight night. I'm kind of scared to put it on there, but I might just to see. I don't know. Maybe they'll warn me if I'm not supposed to. It's a fight night. It's free anyway, so I don't know what the big deal would be. It's literally free. It's on ESPN. This is on ESPN. I got the PlayStation 5 up. Just got the ESPN app. Man, he got him down fast this time. I can see him finishing this fight this round. Because like, even if Ludovic stands up, fourth most takedowns in the UFC, like with history for Gamrot. Dang. Even if Ludovic does stand up, like, let's say he make it past this round, what he gonna do in the third round is gonna be so significant. Like, he would have to actually get a finish in the third round, and that would be his best option, or lose the decision. He could possibly get broken here and just be finished. I guess YouTube okay with this. It's free anyway. I mean, I don't know what. But I still got to respect their policy if they're not cool with it. If this was a pay-per-view, it would have been over with already. Yeah, I think it's a matter of time here. He gonna start breaking down. He gonna get into side control. Man, he fighting like an old school fighter. Full mount, side control, and then from there, take the back. Well, full mount, take it back. This the only. What's up, Amor? Nice to see you. Hopefully, all is well with you. Glad to have you. Are you enjoying the fights tonight? I only really stood up. Well, I only stayed up to get on these fights, the Gamrot fight and the main event. My brother wanted to go live earlier, but I was like, dude, I'm not going live and covering the rest of these fights because they just weren't important and just low quality. Oh yeah, you watching it too? That's good, man. I, I would ask you who's winning this one, but it's kind of clear, so I ain't gonna waste your time. But who you got winning in the main event? You think it's gonna be Macy Barber or Aaron Blanchfield? I'm leaning more towards Aaron Blanchfield. She just her body of work is more impressive. She's more consistent. Okay. Well, we're gonna keep you in our prayers. That gray ocean. I'm not sure if I can or cannot be showing this because it's a fight night. It's free, so I'm not exactly sure. You said Gamrot is a boring fighter. He can be. If he don't get the finish, it can be. But okay, he can't be a boring fighter. But sometimes he can get the finish. But most of his fights been going to decisions lately. Topuria or Oliveira. I'm definitely going with Topuria. Oh yeah, decision fighter. I mean, but hold on, excuse me. He's had some tough fights though, man. You got to think about it. Like the people he been fighting, bro. Let me see something. Let me look at his record here. Gamrot, Matus Gamrot. Okay, so his last few fights, I forgot about this one. He fought Rafael dos Anjos. He fought Rafael Fiziev. He fought Jalen Turner, Benel Dariush, Armand Sarukian. Every last one of those fights went to a decision, except for the Rafael Fiziev fight. Every last one of those fights. So that's a tough string of fights to win by this to a finish. To be fair, he almost got finished by Jalen Turner. If anything, he actually almost got finished by Benil Dariush. The Facile fight, it looked like it was going to go a 5 round decision, more than likely. The Rafael dos Anjos fight, yeah, 5 round decision, 3 rounds. Dan Hooker, yeah, I don't think either one of them came close to getting finished. Suffering overdue calling Dana White right now. If you do, man, and he answers, that'd be impressive. He said, "Dude, this fought tough fighters, but he fights to save." He does. That's the knock on Gamrot, bro. Is whoa. Oh, I thought Ludovic had a ninja choke, a front ninja choke for a second, but he don't. But yeah, he don't look for the finish. I honestly don't think he beat Armand. That's the fight that made me realize like he just has MMA friendly style that the judges like, but I just don't think he beat Armand. I don't think he beat Jalen Turner, but they keep giving him these type of fights. It sounded like John Jones. I never heard them before. Somebody said we sound like Kevin Gates and Rampage one time, but I ain't never heard the John Jones one. I thank you though. He barely looks to finish, just wants to do enough. Yes. And that's what hurt him in the Dan Hooker fight because he thought that he could keep going for enough takedown. Oh, he just threw a left hand and ducked in for a takedown, and Ludovic Klein need him straight in his mouth. I don't think so, man. They was talking crazy on here. I don't want to give them no ammo. Yeah, I don't know, a bunch of widows showed up talking reckless. So I'm like, I don't even want to take the chance. Islam champ, yes, he is. Well, Islam was a champ. He gave his belt up, remember? He relinquished his belt so he can go up to 170 and fight JDM. Do you think he gonna beat JDM? Because Jack Della is tough, man. That you got to think about it. Jack Della is a bigger, better version of Dustin Poirier. He could arguably Jack Della could, uh, he could do some damage to Islam. You can show the fight again. Oh no, I don't want to take no chance here, man. Gamrot can't beat Oliveira, Armand, Islam, Mokano. Maybe Moicano, but the rest of them, no. I think Patty is just too big and too strong at this point and too much momentum. And the way that Gamrot fights so safe, I just think that Patty, with Patty's pressure and Patty's like go getterness, like his hustle, his will to win and drive to try to finish the fight and stuff like that, it'll just I think he can beat Gamrot in the decision. Because Gamrot has shown that he's also very one dimensional. He literally can and only wants to do one thing. Patty gonna do whatever it takes to win. Or to pull. Yeah, now he ain't beat none of them people. But Gamrot striking looking pretty decent right now though. Ludovic Klein striking is looking good too. He's just down on the scorecards. Like I said, if he didn't get it finished in the second round, he would need a finish in the third round, which I don't think he's getting. But what he's doing is throwing these punching combinations, and he's ending every combination with a high kick. And it's not looking too bad. Oh, whoa. Gamrot or Chandler or Bobby Green, it'd probably be a tough fight, or Chandler or Bobby Green would be answered. Yeah. Wait, are you saying, oh yeah, you said Gamrot versus Chandler? Yes, that would be interesting. But man, I just don't think Michael Chandler got no big fights left in him. I don't think Michael Chandler got big fights left, man. The Charles Oliveira one, when he hurt Charles in the fourth round or fifth round or whatever that was his last. That was it right there. Because what happened to him in the Patty fight, I'm almost starting to think Michael Chandler throw fights, man. I'm almost to the point where I feel like he's Chael Sonnen 2.0, where he boosts up these fights and he hype them up, but he goes into these fights knowing he's going to lose, and it's his job to use his name to be a stepping stone for the next generation. I kind of believe it. Yeah, this whole exciting first round, and then you completely fall off and get dismantled. Like you can pretty much predict every Michael Chandler fight at this point. So I think Gamrot probably could win. And yeah, of course, versus King Green, yeah, Gamrot could definitely win because Bobby King, whatever his name is, bro, his chin been bad lately. He been submitted. He been knocked out cold. I think it's probably time for him to retire, man. He's had a lot of fights. He's taken a lot of damage, and eventually it just adds up. But this was total domination here from Gamrot. It's unfortunate because Ludovic Klein actually looked decent in the stand-up portion of this fight. It's just that Gamrot fights that certain style, man. Like he's got a one-track mind, and he's not gonna deviate from the game plan. It's just unfortunate. Chandler versus Hooker rematch. Oh, that'd be nice. That actually would be nice. Hooker would absolutely destroy him right now. If you really just like, if you look at how they've been looking lately, there's nothing Michael Chandler can do, man. I mean, realistically, Dan Hooker, I think he hurt Gamrot a few times. Low key, Gamrot hurt him a few times too, standing up surprisingly. But Dan Hooker was just walking through it. And Gamrot was messing up by going for takedowns, but they was hurting each other. Dan Hooker would definitely be able to do more damage to Michael Chandler than Michael can do to him right now. I think Michael Chandler, his best days are behind him, and he just tried to stay in exciting fights, like big name fights, so he could get paid. But I don't think he go into these fights knowing he gonna win or thinking he gonna win. He said, "Yeah, Ruffy from Fight Nerds climbing the ranks now is gonna be interesting." Yeah, honestly, I don't even think I don't think Gamrot can be Ruffy, bro. Ruffy is freaking nasty, bro. Like that dude, too impressive. Chandler, you don't like Chandler? Yeah, honestly, man, Chandler is just. I just think. Let me go back and look at his record, man. I don't want to be mean here, but I don't have a lot of good to say about Michael Chandler. I really just don't. Especially after that last fight with Patty. Like, how do you dominate in the first round so much and then you gas completely? Oh, you don't like Gamrot either? You don't like Gamrot? Gamrot is in shape though, man. That dude looks insane. Yeah, Gamrot dominated that. Dude, Ludovic Klein had 96% takedown defense going into this fight. And Ludovic is in crazy shape too, man. Both of these dudes look like they was like made out of marble. Like these dudes look not nothing like that, man. Just being honest. Nah, bro, these dudes, they in good shape, bro. Ludovic Klein's legs, bro. You get kicked with one of those, that's game over. Oh, Benoit Saint Denis. How would that fight go? Gamrot versus Benoit Saint Denis. Low key, I think Saint Denis a little bit overrated. I think he's good. He's talented. I just think that there's a lot of glazing going on when it comes to Saint Denis. If I'll be honest, I do like Saint Denis. I do like him. He said Chandler has terrible fight IQ, 1,000%. The absolute worst fight IQ. His fight IQ is on par with like Trayshawn Gore and other fighters. Like it's so bad, you can't count on him at all. His record is catching up with him too, man. Michael Chandler's record now is 23-10. He got 5 KO losses, and he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 5-6 in his last 6 fights. He lost to Patty Pimblett, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira. He was winning the Charles fight. He lost. He was winning the Justin fight because remember he hurt Justin at the beginning of that fight. Remember, and he wobbled him. And then what's the coach name? Trevor Whitman was in the corner smiling because he knew that Justin was gonna come back. Then he really got a gimme fight. He really got a gimme fight with Tony Ferguson. Can you even really count the Tony Ferguson fight for real? Dude, why are they trying to promote this Sugar Sean fight like he deserves a rematch? Dude, it's crazy because Trayshawn Gordon had so much potential. But that last fight showed me the fight IQ is not there, man. He kept headhunting that Brazilian guy, and Trayshawn actually hurt him, but he just would not mix it up. He wouldn't go to the body. He wouldn't throw a jab. He wouldn't feint. He wouldn't keep using leg kicks. And then when he closed the distance, the dude had the elbows waiting on him. But if that Brazilian guy had landed that front jumping kick that he was trying to throw before he threw that right hand, oh my goodness, Trayshawn might still be asleep. Literally, he might still be asleep right now. Chandler should be unranked and on prelims, to be honest. Yes, he should be unranked. Chandler should be unranked at this point. There's no reason for him to still be ranked because he had a title fight against Charles Oliveira in 2021, literally over 4 years ago, because it's May 31st right now. That fight was May 15th of 2021. That was over 4 years ago. You shouldn't be hogging up space in the top 10 or top 15 because of a title fight that you got destroyed in. Again, another fight that you won you was winning the first round and then you found a way to lose. You have to go. You can't be here. So let's see here. I wouldn't count the Ferguson fight either. That's a gimme. Bro, that's like fighting BJ Penn at the end of his career. Like, are we really counting that? That's no. So arguably, I ain't even counting that one, bro. I'm just looking at him as like he hadn't really won a fight since Dan Hooker, since 2021. That's not impressive at all, man. That's why Armand told him in the time you waited for Conor McGregor, you could have had 4 fights in one, had an exciting first round and still found a way to lose. That was real. That was a real comment. He said he would sign your name on a bum to children faster than he would shake your hand, bro. I'm not, I don't understand that one. I think you know something I don't know, man. I don't understand that one. And he was losing the Tony one. Oh, he was losing the first round against Tony. Do you see what I'm saying? This is man, man. I don't want to say this. I don't want to accuse nobody of nothing. But I think Michael Chandler take dives, bro. I'm gonna be real. I honestly think that he goes in those fights knowing I'm not gonna win, and oh, he did get dropped. I think he goes in there knowing like I'm not gonna win, but I'm gonna promote the fight. I can get pay-per-view points. Maybe possibly I can sell the fight, get some money. Or so, I don't know. I don't know what he got going on. Did y'all notice that Macy Barber missed weight by 1.5 pounds, and she seemed to have had some enhancements? I didn't notice this until I was watching the face off yesterday, and everybody was like, "No wonder she missed weight." And I'm like, "I'm." It's completely going over my head. I'm like, I don't understand because the camera angle. I was just looking at their face, and then when they backed up, I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what they're saying." I think Aaron finna destroy her though. Chandler just there for the pay. He is, man. That's why I don't want to see him fight no more. When I start seeing fighters, they just fighting for the paycheck. I don't want to see you fight no more, especially at this level. Because realistically, Let me go see something here. Let me go look at where Michael Chandler is and see who he would be realistically fighting against. And I'm gonna tell you this. This is how you know something is wrong with Michael Chandler. He wasted 2 years waiting on the fight with Conor McGregor. And after his last fight, like a week later, he was going back and forth with Conor McGregor, talking about we got unfinished business. Talking about Iron Mike versus dude, you're not Iron Mike. Nothing about you is iron anymore. That's That was like Bellator days. That's so long gone. That's like COVID times, bro. Nobody's paying to watch Michael Chandler fight anybody, let alone Conor McGregor. And that's the only fight he can really get now. Exactly. And it's like Conor probably ain't never coming back, more than likely. Talking about see you at the top, knowing he ain't never gonna make. He always does that crap. Look, the post fight interviews be fun, but he only had one of them in the last 6 fights. That was against Tony. Oh, see you at the top. You know what? WWE is in his future. Whoa. What? What's happening? Macy Barber is not making the walk right now. What's going on? They trying to make an excuse for Macy. Which health comes first. Make no mistake about it. It ain't like the world is just going crazy for this main event. Look, if she is having problems, you don't have to fight. But I'm wondering if there's something else going on. They're going to commercial. Dude, Daniel Cormier is looking like, what is going on? Bro, this card already been bad as far as like the quality. The fight's been decent, like the outcome stuff, but like none of the names are exciting. I mean, Dustin Jacoby, cool, but I mean, for God's sake, they were going crazy for Jordan Levitt in the prelims. That just lets you know this the level of this card. Jordan Levitt was the highlight of the prelims. So let's just let that sink in. That's what we're dealing with. And now the main event, we probably won't get that. And only one half of the main event was really worth watching, and that was Aaron Blanchfield. We need him right now to come save this card. Connor's trash. You know what? A part of me, a very small part of me, is very interested in knowing how Connor would perform right now in a UFC fight. Hear me out. He didn't look bad in the Khabib fight. Go back and watch the Khabib fight. It wasn't until the end where Khabib really broke him down. But his takedown defense looked good at the beginning. His striking looked good at the beginning. It was Khabib, man. And look at what Khabib did to everybody. He did it to Dustin. He did it to Justin. I mean, he didn't look bad, but I I don't know for sure, but I think it may be drugs and stuff involved now. Like I don't think you could ever trust the Conor McGregor fight until it's the tail of the tape. Like they would literally have to be walking out to the octagon. That's the only way you can really trust a Conor McGregor fight at this point. Barb needs to go back to the prelims now. I think she was only on this spot. I think she was only in this spot because Aaron Blanchfield. That's the only reason I can think of because I just don't see how you justify putting Macy Barber in the main event. What? What? Y'all, the fight is off. Yo, the fight is canceled, y'all. Yo. Wow. So this fight basically got canceled right before the fight, like during the feature. Bro, you can't make it up. Michael, we sending prayers for you, man. I'm waiting for Perez next fight. I don't know what his next fight is gonna be. I don't know if you've seen him going back and forth with the UFC, but it looked like they offered Yuri the title fight against Magomed. Michael, come on, man. I'm not exactly sure how old you are, but we grown. We don't talk like that, man. That's wild, bro. Michael, you blocked. Yeah, that's nonsense, man. Yeah, that's nonsense, man. Saying you're 30 years old, talking like that, is like, come on, bro. And wondering why you be scaring off the women. Wondering why they not talking to you and giving out the phone numbers and going on dates and stuff. Like, just talking crazy just because it's the internet. Just because you can get online and hide behind the keyboard and be talking about You passing gas and you smelling it and what kind of goofy what? Man, seek help. That's crazy. He said, "Yep," and Pereira will more than likely fight the winner. But Yuri turned down the title fight. That's what I was finna say before. Boy got on here talking all that crazy stuff, crazy nonsense, foolishness, frequency. Talking about you passing gas and you smelling it. Well, what you gonna tell the whole world something like that? Shoot. Anyway, but Yuri turned it down because he said he's in school. So Yuri got. I think the last fight with Jamal Hill, because that was a good fight, but obviously Yuri just looked different in that fight. Oh yeah, Aaron is cute, 1000%. Honestly, bro, Macy was looking good. I ain't gonna lie, Macy was looking good, man, at the weigh-in. She had a big forehead, but you know, she's solid. But no disrespect, and I want to say that respectfully, respectfully, respectfully. But Yuri turned down the fight because he's in school. So I think Yuri done had so many fights and stuff, man. He was like, "Look, I can't fight forever." That's a good question. I think I do remember Macy missing weight before. Wait a minute. This is on the weight list. You might be right here. Oh no. It said that that's the first time she missed weight. Maybe one of her opponents or somebody missed weight before. Wow. It just seemed like she missed weight before. Dude, I think Aaron missed weight before, but they hiding it, man. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Because that's when I go to Google and I type in how many times has Macy, the first thing that comes up is how many times has she missed weight? That's the first thing. And like I haven't even clicked on nothing. So it's like I don't know, man. Maybe she made weight in the past, but it was a struggle. You know how some people they get that extra hour or they need that extra little bit of time. I think it was one of those situations where like she was struggling, but she got it, but it was like it wasn't easy because I definitely remember her having some situations. Yeah, or maybe some. Let me go to Tapology, man, because there's something here, man. I know we both not making this up. Well, I guess that's a decision win that Aaron not gonna get tonight, or possibly a submission finish. She had a bout with. Honestly, this her second time with a fight with Aaron Blanchfield being canceled. Hold on, what's going on? What's that? This the second time she was supposed to fight Aaron Blanchfield and it went through. It didn't go through. Hmm. I wonder why. Then the fight before this, she was supposed to fight Rose Namajunas in July of last year, and that got canceled. Maybe she has been having some health stuff. It looked like she might need to take it easy, man. Trying to take these fights. Yuri got put in the casket twice by Pereira. Yeah, they he did get put in the casket twice. I think that he would have done good against Magomed. For some reason, the UFC don't want to get a rematch to Alex, and I don't understand why Alex wouldn't deserve a title fight or an immediate. Dude, this is my question. How does Alex not deserve an immediate title fight, but Sugar Sean gets an immediate rematch against Marab? Alex literally defended his belt several times. He saved the he saved the UFC when Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor fight got canceled. He fought a number 8 ranked light heavyweight, Khalil Roundtree, who didn't deserve a title fight and was super dangerous, but it was going to be a good fight for the fans. And he fought him in altitude. And he was losing that fight until he won in the 4th round. He took a short notice fight against Yuri, a dangerous Yuri. He beat Jamal Hill in 1 round in like 1 or 2 minutes. And then he finally lost against Magomed in a decision that I still think he won. I think Alex won. I don't think obviously he looked flat, he looked off, but I think he won that fight though. And he don't get an immediate rematch, but Sugar Sean gets an immediate rematch against Marab. Like, are we kidding? The dude literally got one title defense against Cheeto Vera, who had no business in the octagon that night. Cheeto looked terrible. That was one of the worst title performances of all time. Easily. Easily. That not only was it one of the worst performances from a challenger, that was just one of the worst performances ever. And that was an easy win for Sean. I don't know how he getting an instant rematch. Yeah, I think he just fell flat, bro. You know, Alex, he fought 4 times back to back, basically. You know what I mean? Going into that fight, I knew it was gonna catch up because we've seen this happen. We've seen fighters go on these win streaks and they fighting back to back to back. I'm not talking about a win streak where all the fights are spread out evenly. Those uh those win streaks where people are fighting every like 3 months, every 2, 3 months back, and I'm talking about over the course of like a calendar year, it's gonna happen, man. I mean, your body can only do so much. And then Alex is like almost 40 years old. He already been fighting for a long time. I knew it was a matter of time, and I figured it was gonna happen in the Magomed fight. Of course, he'll get past Jamal and Yeri and Khalil, and then he'll fall flat on the Magomed one. And truthfully, I ain't gonna say what I really think about that fight, but I don't know. I think that fight was kind of funny, if I'll be honest with you. Hard to lose all that water. Yeah, especially back to back to back. It's like, bro, it's only so many times you can really do that. Your body can only do so much. After you take so many fights in a row and you cut weight, bro, think about how big Alex is. This dude was talking about fighting Tom Aspinall at one point. Your body going through all those times in a row, you gonna hit a wall. Like it's just gonna happen. I think there's a pay or contract issue with Alex. Yes, it got to be something because he was saying that he was disappointed and he was saying he was thinking about retiring anyway. Man, the UFC is so dirty. How do you not want to pay Alex? That dude literally was the face of the UFC last year. The UFC as a product, the quality was bad last year. It has decreased significantly. The fans feel like the fights are not as good. The product is not as good. ESPN is garbage. The pay-per-views don't work half the time. You pay $70 and the pay-per-view won't even come on, or when the pay-per-view do come on, like in between rounds, like let's say at the end of round one, they go to break. Round two starts, they showing a fight from the prelims. Why? Why am I watching Amanda Hebos in the middle of the main event, in the middle of the main card, when she fought on the second or third fight on the card? This was going on all the time. Even on the LX card, people couldn't even access the pay-per-view. They bought it. Alex held the UFC like he held them up, bro, because the product is not what it's supposed to be. And it was actually trending to be the same way until they started announcing the DDP versus Hamzat fight, Ilya versus Charles fight, Max Holloway versus Dustin fight. If it wasn't for them announcing those fights for the summer, it's looking bad. You know, those fights came through and saved them from having another bad year. He been saving them, so I'm looking like, how you don't want to pay this dude? He's literally a superstar. Everybody knows Alex. Yeah, he's literally goated. Short turnaround fights, main events against dangerous people. Yeah, Khalil got destroyed, but Khalil was beating him. Khalil dropped him, man. At one point, Khalil head kicked him and literally If Alex didn't block that when he did at the last second, he would have went sleep. He got past all these dangerous dudes, and all of a sudden, you don't want to pay him. I mean, I'm sure he's not asking for nothing crazy. I'm sure he's not asking for nothing he's not worth. And imagine UFC are preparing to offer Yair. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Offering Yair Rodriguez a title fight after beating the old Pit Bull. Pit Bull who didn't do nothing, barely threw a punch the whole fight. Barely threw a punch the whole fight. And Yair does this. He looks amazing in one fight, and then you think, okay, we'll give him another fight, and then he looks like trash in the next fight. And his last 6 or 7 fights, he's been alternating between looking really impressive and like really like garbage. And he's had 3 title fights in his last 5 or 6 fights. He had the title fight against Josh Emmett. That was interim title fight. He had the actual title fight for the unified belt against Volk. And now they're talking about a possible another fight. I want to say, was the Max Holloway fight for an interim title fight? Let me see something. It's like, how is Yair Rodriguez? Who does he have dirt on in the UFC? I don't understand. He got to know something about him and Anthony Smith. Got to know something about somebody. They had to walk in the office and see somebody eating nasty back shots from somebody they weren't supposed to. Because I don't understand. It's like it got to be something. Let me see here, bro. Why is he on Tapology, the number 17 greatest striker in MMA of all time? You cannot make this up. Yair Rodriguez on Tapology is the number 17 greatest MMA striker of all time. You cannot make this up. I wouldn't have known this if we weren't having this conversation right now. Dude, this is what he's done recently. My computer heating up. Anyway, the Max Holloway was for a belt. Oh no, that's it. Oh, that's his fight of the night. Okay, okay. I thought that was a belt, the way they had that on there. But the Josh Emmett fight and the Volk fight was title fights, and now they trying to give him another one. And honestly, if he had beaten Brian Ortega in their rematch, they would have gave him a title fight then. So he would have had another title fight. You can't make it up, man. Sean is a draw though. Joshua, I disagree. I think that Sean O'Malley, and look, I don't have no hate towards Sean. I actually like Sean O'Malley. I've been rooting for Sean since the contender. I think he beat Piotr Jan. I think that the Piotr Jan rematch would have been a better fight to make. And that fight probably would have been a bigger fight than this, as crazy as it sounds, because the first outcome was controversial. But now Piotr Jan is back to winning. But now this thing, I think that Sean O'Malley is a social media star. I don't think that he's a pay-per-view star. That's not the same thing. That's like when music artists have a bunch of followers on Instagram and then they drop an album and they only sell 20,000 copies. And then they get online complaining like, "Oh, how come nobody bought my album? I got all these followers." It's like, yeah, because you're a social media draw, but that don't necessarily translate into album sales. I don't think that Sean is translating into pay-per-view sales. And Aljo said it. He said that they came to him and told him, if you take this fight, even though you injured and stuff, and you're gonna get all this money from the pay-per-view points and this, that, and the third, and the pay-per-view sales. And he was like, okay, even if I lose, I'll still get paid good. And he said when he saw the pay-per-view numbers, he was like, I cannot believe we only did that. I think they did 300,000. Let me go look this up. Let me see. The UFC used to release the pay-per-view numbers. They just stopped doing that like in the last few years. But there was a point where they would tell you how many pay-per-views a fight would do. And they just got away from doing it versus Aljo. Let me see. Because I don't think that he's pulling these numbers, man. Let me see. UFC 292 pay-per-view buys. Let's see. Because normally we have to get this type of stuff from like a Shell Sonnen or somebody who got some insight. Okay, so it was more than what I thought, but it still was only 570. Sean O'Malley, the way they be pushing him, you would think he doing 800,000 at least. You would at least think 800, 900,000. Bro, 570, that's like a little more than half of what you would assume based on the way they promote him. He's a social media star. And Cheeto, that was just the easy win, not Al. That was just they was trying to get that back so they could promote him as basically he is undefeated now, basically, until he fought Marab. That's all it was. Champion two divisions. Who? Who is champion two divisions? If you draw money, you get bigger fights and more title opportunities. But the money, it ain't coming from pay-per-views. That's what I'm saying. Like the pay-per-view is the ultimate measure of like are you a star? His pay-per-views are not showing that. Hold on, let me see something. What was the Oh, I heard that the spear didn't really sell crazy like that either though. Allegedly. Let me look it up. Let me see. UFC 306 pay-per-view buys. Let's see. These numbers are supposed to look way better than this, y'all. If you're talking about a star is pulling way more than 570,000. Like that's not a star. That's nah. I want to know pay-per-view buys. Nah, they won't do it. Whenever they don't give you the number for the pay-per-view, that's how you know. They talking about the gate. Okay, we ain't worried about the gate. That gate, it was a good gate because it was a Mexican card and it had a bunch of Mexican fighters on it. I know that the gate was good because of the people that was on the card. I'm talking about I need the pay-per-view and they won't give it to you. That's how you know something is wrong. That's how you know it's low. Because the UFC, whenever they do good, they don't mind telling you, oh, we did this, we did that. Whenever you gotta dig and find it, you gotta turn into Batman, Detective Batman, just to go find the pay-per-view numbers. They should be telling you this a week after the fight anyway. This should be public news, public information. He said while specific pay-per-view buy numbers haven't been publicly released, the event's overall success suggests it was a strong pay-per-view seller. No. They're using the $22 million gate to try to say it was an overall success. And I'm talking about pay-per-views. I ain't talking about Mexicans who went to the fight to support they fighters and their people. I'm talking about people at home. Mm-mm. Nah, man, they something. See, every article is talking about the gate. They will not mention no pay per view. That's how I know it wasn't low. And that's how I know it was low. He brings in numbers and he defended the belt as well. Only reason I can see why they done it. Otherwise, when Rob smoked in 5-0, yeah. And honestly, he probably gonna do it again. Uh, Now Umar did have success in that fight. I know that Marab ultimately won, but it's not like Umar got completely shut out. Marab really took it away at the end. He got that 5 round experience at that level. Sean could possibly do better. He could make it a closer fight, like 3-2. Dana has favorites in his shows. You could tell it's a favoritism thing because for that fight at the Spear, that was a commercial for that fight, like on that card, and it was Venom 3 movie was coming out. He said my metabolism is all over the place. Yeah, man. He said, we're doing that fight card. The Venom 3 was coming out, and I remember there was a commercial with Dana White, Sean O'Malley, Tom Hardy, and Venom. And I was like, why is Sean on the commercial, but Marab is not on the commercial when Marab is the defending champion? I don't understand. Well, I do understand because Sean is, more popular and more famous, but your champion can't get nothing like that. That's kind of crazy. Pereira pays out those. Yeah, he does. I think that Pereira's numbers are way better than Sean O'Malley. That's the thing. If you want to talk about a star, you gotta look at Alexa's pay-per-views. That's star power. That's real star power. I guarantee you that Alex pay-per-views is probably 700,000 or more. Probably on the low end 700,000. The Jamal Hill fight had to do numbers. Let me go look that up actually. What was that? UFC 301? Or 300? Oh, I don't know, man. 300. People didn't really think that was a strong one. Oh, UFC 300 is poised to sell 1 million pay-per-view units. That's what they said. I don't know if it actually did, but I don't know. That's what Dana White said at the time. He said that this weekend UFC 300 is poised to sell 1 million pay-per-views. But that also was a historical UFC event, UFC 300. So you can attribute some of that to that. DDP and Hamza sounds like a crazy fight to watch. Yes, that is going to be that's going to be a crazy one, man. And what I don't understand is why people are underestimating Dricus's grappling. Like, why do people act like Dricus don't have? They act like he don't have a bunch of submissions. He don't have 5 round cardio. Realistically, if Hamzat don't finish him in the first round, he's in for a long night. You could argue that Hamzat lost the Gilbert Burns fight. Gilbert is a career lightweight, struggling at welterweight now, and he's old and past his prime. Hamzat also struggled against a short notice Kamaru Usman, who took a fight on 2 weeks' notice, coming up from welterweight, having not fought in like a year, with bad knees, and he still couldn't choke him out. And people keep saying, look at what he did to Robert. Okay, but look at what he didn't do to Kamaru. Look at what he didn't do to Gilbert. I realistically, this fight goes past, I would say, 2 rounds. Dricus does whatever he wants. I can see him knocking out Hamzat. I can see him submitting him. Hamzat will get tired. Khalil had more. Yeah, he had more speed. And truth be told, if they weren't fighting at altitude, he probably would have won. He gassed towards the end. It ain't like he got the best gas tank anyway, but he was doing good. And then I realized they was fighting in like Denver, so it made sense why he all of a sudden just fell flat. And then Alex started putting it on him, and it's just too much. Yair is trash. Trash is a strong word, but there are performances that he's had that definitely was trash. My brother always says this: what make Yair look good is the fact that he won one fight he wasn't supposed to win. That was the Korean Zombie fight. That fight right there, they showed it all the time, which obviously it was amazing. It was incredible. And he did take that fight on like a week's notice, and he did have the flu, and he did win with no time left to go. But some of these opportunities he's gotten, he don't deserve. John Silver would dog walk him. They need to start making that fight, man. Honestly, AR, they need to make Yair versus Diego Lopez. That's the fight. I'm not understanding why they're not making that fight. They was beefing all at the press conference. They was going back and forth. They clearly don't like each other. That's the fight that everybody was saying, "Oh, we want to see this next." Go look at the press conference for UFC 314. Look at the comments. Literally, like that Wednesday or that Thursday, whenever they do it, as soon as it dropped, it was going crazy on Twitter. I go look at the actual press conference. I'm listening to it at work. I look at the comments. Everybody was like, "This." They was basically saying, if Diego loses and Yair wins, or if they both lose, make that fight next. Because even if Diego won and Yair won, Yair just don't deserve a title fight. But in a scenario that they both lose or Diego loses, him versus Yair will be the next best fight. They hate Mobzar. Mobzar is very boring. And honestly, he didn't beat Aljo. Mobstar don't have a single memorable fight. The most memorable fight he has is actually short notice Diego Lopez, where he almost got submitted, and then the Aljo fight where they probably should have gave that fight to Aljo. But if it's anybody they hate more than Mobstar, it's Aljo. John Silver will be a dangerous fight for these dudes. They got to start leapfrogging these guys up there. They're gonna start doing it. They've set a precedent to where as long as you winning fights and you're good and the fans like you, you will jump over people in the rankings. They did that for Sean O'Malley. They did that for Diego Lopez. They did that for I think they're gonna do it for John Silva. They have to, because some of these guys who up there, they never gonna be a champion. Some of them are on win streaks, but they're boring. Nobody wants to see them fight. They're not gonna sell pay-per-views. And when you got a big following and you finishing fights like John Silver, you have to give him a title fight. I mean, you have to give him. I could see them making him fight. They're gonna give him a. They're gonna give him a big fight. Let me see what he is right now. John Silver is number 11. I could see them giving him. They really hate Aljo. I could see them giving him Aljo to knock Aljo out. But they possibly give him Josh Emmett because Josh Emmett is number 10 now. Believe it or not, they probably give John Silver. Yeah, that's probably who they're gonna give him. They probably gonna. Yeah, unless maybe Arnold Allen or something. But I don't think they want to do Arnold Allen like that. Brian Ortega, he fight once every year maybe. LaRon Murphy not finna take no fight against no John Silver. Aljamain is above him, and Josh Emmett is above him. They gonna make John Silver fight Josh Emmett because Josh Emmett has lately he's been the Neil Magny of the featherweights. If you can beat him, you can go on and get a title fight. For some reason, imagine losing to a one-leg Brian Ortega. That's dude for Yair to see him tweak his ankle like that, like right in front of his face, like 15 feet away from him. The whole crowd said, "Oh." Everybody was talking about it. You go out there and hurt him, then you gas out and get submitted. I saw that summed up Yair in a nutshell. How impressive he is and how disappointing he can be all at the same time. That basically, that fight right there did it. Yeah, Sean don't have the pay-per-view buys to back him up being a star, but then again, a lot of guys people call stars now don't either. They don't. But how many stars do the UFC even have now? I mean, Islam, John Jones, Ilya, Drika's kinda, Hamza kind of when he fights once every year and a half. Alex Volkanovski, Alex Pereira, Pantoja is not a star. Tom Aspinall has become a star. Max is a star. Bilal was never a star, even with the belt. Sean, and I'm naming people in the top 15, pound for pound, and Charles. So out of all these people, okay, Islam is a star, John is a star, Ilya is a star. Marab, if he have another good, exciting fight, possibly, but he's had so many boring fights that he would need to make this fight really good. Like he got to have consecutive good fights. So he still got an asterisk by his name. So we still down to just what Islam, John, Ilya. We still got three people. Drika's kind of. I put Drika's as a kind of star 5. Magomed is nothing. Volk 5. Alex 6. Jack, he got some work to do because he's a new champion. Pantoja, no. Tom would be 7. Max would be 8. Bilal, no. Sean will be 9, 10, maybe 10 stars in the top 10. I mean, in the top 15 pound for pound. There's nobody in the flyweights. Oh, Brandon Moreno. I mean, but that's for Mexican fighters. Then we get there's nobody else in the bantamweight division. There's nobody else in the featherweight division. You still got Justin Gaethje. People are gonna buy his fight. You got Patty Pimblett. And that's lightweight. Then we move on to welterweight. Shavkat, when he fights, people gonna want to see him fight. Leon has fell off completely. He's done. Kamaru, people gonna tune in to see the fight with Buckley, but I think that a lot of people believe that Buckley probably gonna knock him out or get him out of there, and that'll be 3 in a row. That'll be tic tac toe 3 in a row for Kamaru. It'll be unfortunate, but no, there was tic tac toe 3 in a row when he lost to Leon head kick, Leon decision. Hamza short notice decision, even though I think he won that fight, but that's tic tac toe 3 in a row. But who else is a star? Kobe is out of there. None of that no more. Sean Strickland, nope, no more. I'm surprised Nasruddin is not a star. Izzy is losing his star power. Um, Yuri is a star. Jamal, he talked too much and he didn't back up none of his smack talk, so that hurt him. So that's unfortunate. Um, Dominic Reyes is making a comeback, so if he could possibly put himself in a situation with a good story where he could become a star again. Tom Aspinall star, yes, we already said that. Cyril Gunn is French, so yeah, he gonna do numbers in Paris or Paris. Mm, that's kind of it. Zhang Wei Li got a country behind her. Shevchenko is really boring, and people only mention her literally for the 25 minutes she's fighting, and half the time they're complaining that she won a fight she didn't deserve to win. It ain't that many stars in the UFC, y'all. Oh yeah, take care, my guy. Take care, AR90. The gate numbers for the Spears misleading. Their ticket prices are more expensive than a typical arena. See, they didn't tell us that. If that's true about UFC 300, look how stacked they had to make that card to achieve 1 million pay-per-view buys. Yeah, also, it was also a historical card. So you got like UFC 100, 200, 300. It- That's probably what 250,000 of those pay-per-views came from, was just that. But I ain't keep y'all up too much longer. I definitely thank y'all for tuning in. It sucks that we didn't get to see the main event, but it ain't like it was gonna be nothing we was going crazy for, no way. But the next thing we got coming up is gonna be we're gonna go live again tomorrow. My brother went to sleep. He wanted to go to live earlier, but I didn't I wasn't gonna be up doing this for no Jordan Levitt. I had to tell him that. So, but the next one we got is gonna be next week. That's gonna be Marab and Sean. So we're gonna be going live more, and we also gonna be going live on TikTok. But y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Until next time, y'all take it easy.